going to have Mr. Nadeau for you first.
Okay. Yep, please approach. Okay, this is State versus Hunter Nadeau, docket number 459, 2025, CR 3436. I'm going to ask that those in attendance, those parties, state their name for the record, beginning with the state.
Good afternoon, Judge Peter Hinckley, Attorney General's Office.
Thank you.
Attorney General's office.
Thank you.
And Eva Farakis for Hunter.
Okay, and Mr. Nadeau, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sir. I understand that you had an opportunity to meet with counsel.
There's one that's.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. I need everyone else on the link to please mute themselves. We're getting a tremendous echo. Okay, thank you. Mr. Nadeau, I understand you had an opportunity to meet with counsel.
Yes.
And she has gone over the charge in this matter and has waived a formal arraignment. We're going to schedule this for a probable cause hearing, okay?
Okay.
All right, October 1st, 10:15.
Okay.
Sir, as I'm sure counsel has let you know, you're going to remain incarcerated, okay?
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
No, Judge.
That's all.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And there you see the 23-year-old Hunter Nadeau, who was the subject, the perpetrator in the mass shooting in New Hampshire at a country club in Nashua, New Hampshire over the weekend, where he shot one man and killed him, injured two others with gunfire, and several other people got hurt during the melee, trying to escape from the shooting. Now, since that time, I've spoken with somebody from that area, and they actually spoke with someone who used to work with Hunter. And, you know, my attempts to reach her did not pan out. But according to this individual, Hunter did used to work there. He used to work there. And it was said that, you know, he was very well liked. Like, you know, he was 6'4", you know, tall. And, you know, they said a lot of women at the job had a crush on him. Now, they said lately he had begun to get radicalized by some, you know, stretch of the imagination. But this individual said like he was a good kid, you know, and even like watching that video, he doesn't look or sound like the typical white mass shooter. Now, they said that he snuck through the golf course because he knew the lay of the land. He went in there, you know, and did what they say he's done. Now, you see him at the arraignment. He's being arraigned through video, and he actually waived the arraignment, and then they're going to do a probable cause hearing later on in October. Now, probable cause means they're going to go and show evidence and see why he should not continuously be prosecuted, but he's being held without bail. And you're going to see this other video where the Attorney General is giving limited information, you know, about this case. And this video was used for fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. Check it out.
I'm sure counsel has let you know you're going to remain incarcerated, okay? She has gone over the charge in this matter and has waived a formal arraignment. We're going to schedule this for a probable cause hearing, okay?
Okay. That's all.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Hey, Your Honor, give us a minute. We'll get the other individuals on.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a very brief recess, okay?
Were the victims targeted, or were these all random shootings?
That's still being investigated. We have no evidence of that,
No, that's okay.
of targeted.
So these were random shootings at this point, you believe?
I believe so.
He just came in and started shooting anybody.
Again, we're still developing what happened beforehand, what motivated him.
I, along with everyone within the Sky Meadow Country Club community, am heartbroken over the tragic event that unfolded Saturday night. This was the heinous act of a coward who will be held accountable for what he did. To the DeCesar family, there are no words to express the pain and sorrow you and our community are feeling over Robert's murder. He is a hero. To our very own employee, Steve, and another guest who was shot and are recovering, countless others that were impacted. We're here for you and your families always. We are profoundly grateful for the courageous efforts of the patrons and employees who acted selflessly to prevent further tragedy. There were many heroes that night.
And that guy that you heard speak, I assume, was the owner of the club. And so you hear the Attorney General saying, well, okay, we don't know what's the motive, where they're targeted shootings or what have you. But, I am pretty sure that this was not just a random act. There was some sort of motive, something that caused that young man to go up in there and do something like that. Now, lastly, you're going to see this video where they're talking to some of the victims' family members, some of the witnesses. They're going to, once again, give you some insight on their version of events and, how this tragedy has affected them. Once again, this is fair use, literary and commentary purposes only. Just watch.
We do begin tonight with the very latest on that investigation into a deadly shooting in Nashua, New Hampshire.
Nashua police saying one person was shot dead and 2 others shot and wounded. There are also at least 4 other victims injured, but not from gunshots. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Colton Bradford.
And I'm Priscilla Casper. Police say a 23-year-old man is facing murder charges after the deadly shooting at the Sky Meadow Country Club.
Yeah, NBC 10's Robert Goulston heard from witnesses who were at the venue for a wedding at the time of that shooting.
Going up the hill.
It was a massive police response for shots fired at Sky Meadow Country Club Saturday night around 8:30. Several people at the wedding near the restaurant where the shooting happened heard multiple shots.
We all began running in different directions.
At first, I didn't realize it was gunshots.
The New Hampshire Attorney General's office says 23-year-old Hunter Nadeau has been charged with murder. Investigators say he walked into the restaurant at the country club armed with a handgun and shot and killed 59-year-old Robert DeCesar. 2 others were also shot but are expected to be okay. The AG says there is no known connection between the 2 men. Tom Bartleson says the suspect ran into the wedding reception after the shooting.
We just wanted to keep the family safe, keep everybody down, and then try to find safe spots.
Police say they were able to determine Nadeau was the only shooter after reviewing surveillance video. They took him into custody and located the handgun. A potential motive for the shooting has not been released.
People were obviously very scared. There was a bunch of people who were trying to do their best to keep everyone calm. And, we all tried to shelter in place and keep each other, okay.
A nearby Sheridan was used as a unification site to connect people who were at the restaurant and the wedding with loved ones. In Nashua, New Hampshire, Robert Goulston, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, Robert, thank you. And new tonight, the mother of the deceased victim, Robert DeCesar, spoke with us about her son's final moments.
Our NBC 10's Jericho Tran joining us from the Sheraton Hotel, where families were trying to reunite with their loved ones last night. Jericho, I can't imagine how difficult that conversation was. What did she tell you?
Yes, it was absolutely heartbreaking. I spoke with his mother, Evie O'Rourke. She tells me that she saw the news on TV. She knew that somebody had died, but she didn't know that it was her son. So she came here to the Sheraton Hotel in search of her son, Robert DeCesar. And she tells me that the hours leading up to the moments when she found out that her son had died were excruciating.
It was very, very hard because then no one would tell him, where is he? Is he just shot? Did he go to the hospital?
A mother desperately searching for her son.
The Red Cross gave us all false information. Said they had checked on the name and it wasn't him. It was. They pulled us to one side and said, oh, he's here. He's in the other room. Come out in the hallway. Then they came out. Oh, no, that wasn't him. We suffered for 4 hours.
At the end of that agonizing 4 hours, Evie O'Rourke learned that her son, 59-year-old Robert DeCesar, was shot and killed right here inside the Sky Meadow Country Club.
He turned around and stood up and took a bullet for his family. I'm very proud of him.
A father of 3, 2 sons and a daughter, DeCesar sat down with his wife and daughter Saturday night for dinner to discuss his daughter's upcoming wedding.
His only daughter, Michaela, is getting married November 2nd, and she'll be getting married without her dad.
That's when police say Hunter Nadeau walked in and started shooting.
They just saw it. They saw the guy come in and shoot the manager and another couple of shots, and then Rob stood up, turned around, and the guy was right there. Shot him and he went down, and they saw his legs under the table in blood, and they were under the table, and they were able to, they had to run for their life.
O'Rourke says her son was a hard worker. He enjoyed golf, which his wife had just learned to play.
They had booked a cruise for their 25th anniversary. He loved the tropics. He's the man. He's the one that we went to, and we can't do that anymore.
An absolutely devastating loss for the family, and the man that police say is responsible for this shooting currently faces a murder charge, and as this investigation continues, he will face more charges. In New Hampshire, Jericho Tran, NBC 10 Boston.
Jericho, thank you. Let's actually talk a little bit more about the suspect at the center of this investigation, because this evening we are slowly starting to learn more about them.
We certainly are. Law enforcement officials, they held a press conference this afternoon revealing more details about the man now facing charges. Police say 23-year-old Hunter Nadeau has been arrested and charged with reckless second-degree murder. Nadeau is a Nashua resident and a former employee of the country club. Officers were able to track him down in a nearby neighborhood last night where he was taken into custody. As of now, investigators say that motive remains unclear.
He hadn't worked there for about a year. There's been reports that he made certain statements such as Free Palestine, but based on the evidence we have gathered, Mr. Nadeau made a number of statements during the event, and we don't have any evidence at this time that would indicate that Mr. Nadeau was motivated by a hate-based motivation.
Authorities say Nadeau could face additional charges as that investigation continues. He will be arraigned in Nashua District Court tomorrow.
And just a reminder to stay with our team at NBC Boston for continuing coverage of the deadly shooting at this country club in Nashua, New Hampshire. Be sure to download our free NBC 10 Boston app or just head over online to NBC Boston.
All right, so we'll stop it right there because while they are saying that they don't know of any motive, he said he busted in and shot the manager. That is the manager of the country club that he used to work at. So if the first person he shoots is the manager, that's what the Caesar's mother said, then evidently he had a problem with the manager. Unfortunately for the Caesar, he tried to play hero, and he got the better end of, or the worst end of Hunter's plans. But they never really talked too much about Hunter during that 6-minute long video. They talked about the victims, they talked about the witnesses, they interviewed the mother of the victim, but they don't really go into how heinous and senseless and needless and horrific and barbaric and criminal and violent and savage was Hunter's actions. They're treating him, just like the average run-of-the-mill white criminal that, who just somehow lost his way that day. We can't give any details and, those things like that. So this always strikes me as odd when we compare similar instances where, criminal records are brought up, just the overall vilification and demeaning narratives of other criminals who commit these similar acts. But nevertheless, he's been held without bond, hopefully, or maybe some more information will come to light as this situation goes on. But, he did appear in court today. You seen him dressed in the turtle suit. That's what we call the green suit. That means he really has nothing on under there. And that is for like safety purposes. He probably is in SEG. They probably got him on cell phone live and watch. So that's why he has on that turtle suit. But like I said, the people I've talked to about him said that he was a good guy, very well liked by all of the women at the job. A lot of people had a crush on him. So, we don't know why this radical act that has came to him. So maybe we'll figure out in the future. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this story in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. And if you guys do like this content and you want this channel to keep growing, please hit that little subscribe button. It doesn't cost you $1. But what it does do is allow my videos to get more out into the internet space on a frequent and more regular basis. But thank y'all again for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and also subscribing to these videos. And as always, I hope you have peace and blessings.